There are days in golf that demand our attention. And in spite of the hour and the distant location, this is one of those moments. It's 9:30 in the East on a Saturday night in February, but in Australia, it's 1:30 in the afternoon on Sunday. It's summertime, and one player is bringing record heat. The most accomplished teenage female golfer ever, 15-year-old amateur Lydia Ko, tied for the lead with former world number one Jiyai Shin as we get set for live final round coverage of the LPGA season opener, the ISPS Handa Women's Australian Open. Ko attempting to become the first amateur in history to win more than once on the LPGA Tour. I'm Rich Lerner. Now to the Australian broadcast team led by Stephanie Brantz at Royal Canberra Golf Club.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Brantz and Kate Burton is here with me at what must be the most spectacular location in Canberra. How about that view, Kate?
Oh, isn't it incredible? I just wish I brought my clubs up so I could hit some balls down to Royal Canberra Golf Club.
Well, that's where the action is going to be today. And young Lydia Ko has hung in there. We thought she would. Through the last 2 days, she has been very, very calm and just maintaining her position.
Well, she's on the cusp of her fourth professional victory as a 15-year-old amateur. She is making history every step of the way, and I mean, she talked about, are you feeling the pressure going into the final round? She goes, well, I can't win any money. I've resigned myself to that fact. She could have won over $500,000 worth of prize money in her short career already, but that's not the point. She's playing for pride, and should she win today, she will be the holder of 3 national opens at one time. Incredible stuff.
Well, the other challenger at the top of the leaderboard, 17 under the card, Jiyai Shin, former world number one. She is absolute class.
Says her tempo's good, her timing's good, she trusts her swing. She is a very clever player that gets the very most out of her game, and as we saw during the third round, she hit some spectacular shots. How about this bunker shot from the 6th hole? In for an eagle. She is known as the final round queen, has won many times on the LPGA Tour and is a 2-time major champion. She'll be using driver as often as she can to get as much distance on this golf course, but her strength is hitting the fairways, hitting the greens and holing the putts. It's going to be a seriously tough opponent for Lydia Ko.
Well, those two are out in front, but there is a chasing pack. One of those, Kate, is Beatrice Recari, who is one of 2 players here from Pamplona in Spain.
Yes, there are a number of talented players to emerge from Spain. I think she's going to need the round of her life to mount a serious challenge, but we saw last year Stacey Lewis came from 7 behind on the LPGA Tour to win, so anything is possible. I think you're going to need the 2 leaders to falter. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but it really is going to be an enthralling final round because we're going to see some brilliant golf out there.
Well, whatever happens today, Beatrice Recari is very happy with her progress so far.
I had a great winter training and winter preparation, and it's always great to start the season with the Aussie Open, and I always play well in Australia, so I mean, I'm very happy with my game so far, and today I hit it better than yesterday. I didn't drop that many putts, but I'm definitely in a good position for tomorrow.
Well, that day has arrived, and it is the final day of the Australian Open here at Royal Canberra, and well, those 2 names on top of the leaderboard, Lydia Ko and Jiyai Shin. Kate Burton, it looks exactly like it did at the Canadian Open, where it was Lydia Ko that held firm.
Yes, and it'd be so interesting to see what does pan out today. But having a look at the other players on the leaderboard, we have Moria Jatanagang, the young Thai player, just 18 years old, and what a story she is so far, a stellar amateur career. And you have got the #1 player in the world, Yani Tseng. She is lurking with intent. I think she's going to have the round of her life. She certainly is going to have that. But anything is possible on this final day.
Ko and Shin played together last year in the final round, final group at that CN Canadian Women's Open when Lydia Ko became the youngest champion in LPGA Tour history. A week ago, Ko won her national championship in New Zealand, going for the double down under when we come back. Golf Channel live from Australia. It is the final round of the ISPS Handa Women's Australian Open, where 15-year-old Lydia Ko again is trying to make history. Weather's ideal. That golf course is current world #1 Yani Tseng who said of Lydia Ko, I feel like I'm getting old. She's 24, down to the first tee.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the tee, group number 38, after rounds of 68, 71 and 71, to be 9 under par. Could you please welcome from Taiwan, world number 1, Yani Seng.
Okay, no cameras, please. Thank you.
Looking back towards the first, and good sized gallery here. Some will troop off, some will stay and watch the last 3 groups.
This has started well left, and that is a shocker off the first tee from Yani.
Well, Yani hasn't driven the ball well all week. Hit 5 fairways the first day, 7 the second day, and 3rd the third day.
Ladies and gentlemen, could you also welcome, after rounds of 64, 67 and 79, to be also 9 under par, from Colombia, Mariajo Uribe.
This one started well down the right, drawing back towards the fairway, and that is a nice drive by Maria Hope.
That'll settle some nerves after the round yesterday. Things came a bit unstuck.
Yani Sen currently tied for 15th, and when we come back, we will see Lydia Ko, all of 15 years old, teeing off in her final round. This is just her 13th professional event. She's won 3 of 12. Amazing. Fascinating final round is set to go from the ISPS Handa Women's Australian Open. 15-year-old amateur Lydia Ko going out alongside one of the best in the world, former world number 1, currently at number 8, and that is Jiyai Shin, the reigning Rico Women's British Open champion. And now let's take you down to the first tee.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the final pairing of the day. The joint leaders, group number 41, from Korea, with rounds of 65, 67 and 70 for a 17 under par total. Could you please welcome Jiyai Shin.
Does love this course. She just needs to go low one more time. And stave off Lydia Ko, of course.
Hey, sir. What cameras, please?
Wow, we'll break down of golf etiquette amongst the gallery.
This is looking pretty good for Jiyai. Yep, perfect position.
Yes, there either needs to be absolute silence or lots of noise.
Also on the tee, ladies and gentlemen, from New Zealand, after rounds of 63, 69 and 70, to be also 17 under par, could you please welcome Lydia Ko.
Oh, that has gone way left as well.
Wow.
Wow.
The tee box is aiming there, Sandy. We've seen 3 world-class players all pull it left. But the one consolation, of course, is that it is a par 5.
Also, Kate, she's a long way down as well. It didn't hit anything.
Right.
When she does go wrong off the tee, it then does tend to be a pull straight left. Ricari over the bunker to the first green. That's the plan anyway. And that's the execution as well.
Well, rather charismatic Italian out on the golf course. A host of international players. But we'll come back to that in a second. This isn't an Italian, this is a player from Chinese Taipei. It's the world #1, Yani Tseng. So Tseng rebounds after that bogey on the first, comes straight back with a birdie at the second.
So 6 is the lead for Ko and Shin as they make their way down the first over Tepan Suwanapura, who's got a sensational round going. Surgas and Ricari of Italy and Spain also at 11 under. Now Nasira has sort of battled away down the first.
Whoa, sit down. Now we touched on the charismatic Italian, and here she is, Giulia Surgas. This is for a birdie at the 8th hole. Whoa, lovely.
4 under for the round and joins Suwanapura and Ricari at 11 under.
Now, wearing the skins to protect her from the sun is Catherine Hull. This also to move to 10 under par. Just held its line. I thought I was going to move a little bit more from her left to right, but she judged it quite perfectly. Good putt, Catherine.
Gladys Nasira can have the wind taken out of her sails very early. After battling the trees on the first. Long putt for par. Good try. But with players making moves all around her, she could ill afford that. Back to 8 under. How could it be? She'd 65 the day before, come out and bogey the first hole.
Very easily. Okay. Now, Shin. Once again, we find her on the fairway, Sandy.
Yeah, long way out, though, at 258, so she'll just get it down there.
No cameras, please.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
So a steady start for Shin. But Lydia Ko, after that very wayward drive by her standards.
Yes. It's come back.
Now.
A long way. Oh, this is big trouble for Lydia on the first.
Well, that was a tough shot she had there because she either had to try and get very high up and over, but it was to keep it low was going to be difficult as well. So not surprising.
Okay. Beatrice Ricari for birdie, up ahead on the green. Oh, she's going to need those if she's going to mount any kind of challenge on the leaders. Okay, well, Sandy is with Lydia Ko.
Yeah, at this stage, it looks like she's just going to try and get it back onto the fairway, but that's not without its problems. She's now very deep into the rough, and there's a lot of long grass around the edge of this fairway. She's coming directly out sideways, just trying to clear the people because there's an awful lot of them out here.
I'm hitting there.
And there's not a lot of room to work with. So, but there's a wall of trees in front of her. She's elected not to go down that path again.
No, just get it back out on the short stuff.
Now kick up. Yeah, it's well done. Just wants to stop from the other side, run off the edge.
All right, a little bit of soldier golf there, left, right.
Well, important for Lydia Ko just to stay calm and composed as she has done throughout the week. It's one shot at a time. I know it's the old adage in golf, but it applies here. It's very much so indeed.
Now, Suwanapura deep into a round as she's at the 15th. 7 under for the day. Suwanapura, oh, beautifully done. Singh for birdie at the 3rd. Oh, tracking beautiful. The story really is happening at the first. All sorts of trouble for Lydia Ko.
Yeah, and that was from 250 out still, but she's at least heading in the right direction.
Big welcome to Jane Crafter, and oh, what drama we've got in the first 45-50 minutes of coverage.
Oh, goodness me. I'm certainly very surprised that Lydia hit her drive so poorly there at the first, and a bit of a shock to the system to have it rebound back past you. Hope she can just calm down and keep her wits about her.
Suwanapura. Thank you.
Yeah, this young lady is really playing some golf.
She's got it on a string today. And Lydia Ko in trouble. Jiyai Shin may have the lead handed to her at the first hole on the last day. But Tadapa Suwanapura at 12 under. And Julia Sergas, the Italian, also there. Beatrice Riccari alone in 5th at 11 under. And a number at 10 under, including Katrina Matthew.
Third shot at the opening hole. It's a par 5. This is Jiyai Shin. A very steady player. 5th in greens hit last year. He is one of the best in the business. 2 wins in 2012, including that 9-hole playoff against Paula Creamer at Kingsmill. And now Lydia Ko, shaky start. This her 5th shot. Drove it left. Her second hit a tree carom back deeper into the trees, so she will have that for bogey. In her first round, Ko began her day at number 10 with a bogey. She parred 11, then reeled off 4 straight birdies. The birdie run stopped by an eagle at the par 5 15th, and she was playing that day alongside Yanni Sen and Michelle Wee. So she has, if nothing else, shown tremendous poise. And that is what really jumps out. Just how unfazed and natural and charming and pleasant she has been. And brilliant. Now Gladys Nocera. This, her second shot.
Coming off a bogey at the first. Really be happy with the radar after that one. Good distance control.
Jiyai just going to clean up. Settle Tiddler. Oh, nice start.
And that throws just a little bit more pressure across the green to Lydia. Could have a 3-shot swing on the first hole.
Well, and when Lydia shot her opening round of 10 under, she opened with the bogey. So if she could make this and limit that damage to just 1 shot dropped, that would be mentally something big for her.
Terrific composure from Shin because she was put off her opening tee shot by a camera clip. And settled down, got a good drive away.
Now this putt for Lydia Ko, slightly downhill. Could work perhaps a little from right to left, Sandy. I don't know that there's a lot in it.
I don't think there's too much in it, Jane. I think it's going to be all about what pace you hit it at. It's going to take a little break if it trickles down there.
Perhaps a little tight, a little nervous. Cannot afford to forget that she is but 15 years of age. So disappointing start for Lydia Ko with a double.
Well, a rocky start for Lydia Ko, and she finds herself 3 behind Jiyai Shin.
Now Beatrice Riccari here at the second after a lovely drive. Played every event on the LPGA last year. Oh, that just goes to show you how firm the greens are getting, Steve. It's drying out in the sunshine this afternoon.
I think some are going to hold and some may not. There's a little bit of variation. Tadapa Suwanapura.
7 under for today's round. Alas, I fear that she started too many strokes back. Players like Riccari and Sen, if they could get 7, 8, 9 under par for the day, then they might be challenging.
Anna Nordqvist at the 4th for Eagle.
53 metres this hole. The back hole location as she hit it. Oh, it's going to leave that awkward length for birdie.
3 par 5s in the first 6 holes, Jane. What do you think about that composition?
Interesting. And you'd better start making your score early, and that's why Lydia Ko is going to be kicking herself. But meanwhile, let's have a look at the second hole. And it is a lovely par 4. Not that long, 343 metres. Just a gentle dog leg to the right. Keep it down the right side. Right centre is ideal. You've got some very tall pine trees. This golf course was carved out of the Westbourne Woods Arboretum, and so there's plenty of foliage out here. And if you can stay down the right side, that'll set you up for a good approach to a green that holds reasonably well. It's got 2 tiers. Well, we did see Beatrice Riccari bound over the back, but it's played just over its par. The hole today is located 26 on and 6 off the right.
Well, she probably can't believe she leads by 3 after 1 hole.
And this is just coming down this left-hand side, taking the corner just nice. It'll be in a great spot.
Yeah, Jiyai not the longest. Average 241 yards this week, but so straight.
Beatrice Riccari for birdie. Up ahead on the green.
Oh, and that just shot dead right. A lot of players have had trouble putting out of these fringes this week. It's very sticky grass. Now back to Lydia Ko at the second, opting to go with the fairway metal.
And this looks like a better drive from Lydia Ko. This is taking this corner nice and tight, and again we'll find the fairway.
There you go. That'll settle you down. That's what she needed.
Yeah, that's some butterflies in the stomach. There had to have been for the kind of start she made.
Now the Frenchwoman Gladys Nocera. Right, little left to right putt. Has she given it enough? No. Another of Ian Triggs's students. He's got quite a number of players in the field this week that he's teaching.
Too many.
With him for yeah, Gladys has worked with him for a couple of years.
Tanagan made a great start.
Well, She's got an immense amount of talent, as does her younger sister, Aria. Yes.
Oh, there's another one. And 2 under through 3 holes and 11 under for the tournament. So all sorts of interesting things happening out on the Royal Canberra course. And Jane Levy with Peter Wilkins. I know he's busting to get into the chair here. It's all going on.
Well, I don't blame him. Anna Nordquist now for birdie.
There you go.
Yes, well done, Anna. So up to 9 under total, but a lot of work to do for Nordquist. And we saw Ricari putt from off the fringe, over the green, down to this point, just to save a par. Good job. And she has worked diligently on her golf swing and her fitness over the last year or two, and starting to pay dividends. Peter Wilkins, welcome.
Jane, good afternoon. Lydia Ko. I did notice on the first just a little exhalation before she had a tee shot, put the ball on the tee. Maybe you look at the crowd flanking the fairways. You'd have to be human, wouldn't you? 15 years of age in the Australian Open, final day, final group. But she's right at the ship, and let's see how she goes from here. Mind you, she did pay the ultimate penalty, didn't she, down that first? There were quite a few scrappy shots, you might say. She paid the most severe penalty of all. So you just got to get the mind back on the job.
Absolutely, yeah. You have to think that was a bit unlucky to hit that tree and rebound as far away as she did. So caddy Stephen Mowbray on the bag.
Yes, under his third outing, he caddied for the first time with her at the New South Wales Open, which she won last January, and was delighted to receive the call up again to go around again in the New South Wales Open. And here, he and his wife hosted her as well.
Well, Lydia has 120 into the flag, 94 to the front, but she needs to carry it at least 106 to get past these bunkers. A little bit of gentle breeze right behind her. Well, the line is good if she's got the club.
Oh, lovely shot. That will settle her down. Really nice contact, good solid swing. We're still playing lift, clean and place today. We've played it all week, Sandy, and you know, there are some rough patches out there on the course. They've had some wicked weather in January. They're still trying to recover from.
Yes, when you it looks lovely and green, but when you do get out in the course, there are some areas that have suffered, so they've elected to do that all week. Now, Jiyai is 117 from the flag. Again, needs to carry it well over 100 to get past those bunkers.
And the screen is firming up a little bit. We saw a couple of balls bounce over.
Oh, this one's gone fairly well left. This is a bit of an unusual GA shot here.
Yeah, not great, but not a horrible miss. If you're going to miss it, that's not a bad spot to be. Not up to her usual standards.
So a short putt now for Suwanapura, hottest player on the golf course right now. And lost that one a little bit right. So big development in the early going. Lydia Ko doubled the first hole. Jiyai Shin made birdie. Suwanapura moves to the 17th hole, and there you see it. Lydia Ko spotting Jiyai Shin, a 3-shot lead in the blink of an eye. That's a lot to give up to anyone, but most especially a player like Jiyai Shin, who was absolutely surgical, precise, that easy smile belying a fierce competitive streak. We'll see if Lydia Ko can bounce back. hit a good shot into the second hole. We'll see the birdie putt when we return to Australia in a moment. Continuing from the ISPS Handa Women's Australian Open, Jiyai Shin birdie at the par 5 first, now at the 375-yard second. Trying to go back-to-back. That'll be an easy tap in. So Shin, with that dramatic swing at the first, she made birdie. Lydia Ko playing alongside, made double bogey. They started the day tied at 17 under. And Shin very quickly with a 3-shot lead. And now Yanni Sen. Yanni bogeyed the first, but bounced back with birdies at 2 and 3. For birdie at 4.
That's a bit struggled a little bit with her putting this week. But then again, it is her first event for the year, so there's going to be some rust.
With caddy Paul Fusco, who's been with her just since September last year now. A delicate little chip for Gladys Nacera. Second shot to the par 3 third. Run it out. That's the problem with that type of shot, isn't it?
Yep.
Jane?
Yeah, not her best effort.
Now this would be handy. Lydia Ko. Birdie putt at the second, just to right the ship. It's dribbled on to a knee trembling length. Mind you, she has holed all of those putts with great alacrity so far this week. This 4 birdie for Beatrice Riccari. You want to get them to the hole.
Yes, indeed. Now, let's have a look and see if Lydia Ko can take a deep breath, knock this one in the back of the hole. Oh dear, and it's all coming unravelled for Lydia. And you hate to see that happen. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation on this young lady's shoulders today. Lots of attention from all around the world. Sarah, after that, not terribly impressive, but an impressive putt, and that's all you need.
Strong par for Gladys Nacera to remain at 8 under par. Now, birdie putt at the 17th. We saw the tee shot a few moments ago. Go on. And it'll be a par for Suwanapura. And now on the third, hasn't the complexion changed in just a couple of holes? Lydia Ko has to play her own game, but Jiyai Shin is always looking impregnable in the final round.
This is 184 into the breeze for Jiyai. Now it's just turning over, going a little right to left. May miss the green.
Well, that shouldn't be too difficult and up and down. Certainly a reasonable amount of green to work with there for Jiyai. Using one of her many woods. Her first iron is a 6-iron, as is Lydia Ko's. So a lot of fairway metals and hybrids to choose from, Sandy.
Yes, and you just wonder what those first couple of holes have done to this young 15-year-old. Hopefully she can get it all back together. She's the body language is not fantastic at this point, as you can imagine.
Well, and when you're so used to playing really good golf, I would think her whole nervous system has got to be in a bit of a shock at the moment, Sandy.
Well, she just doesn't play these sorts of shots, and a 3-putt from short distance would have rattled her. And that is started out to the right of the flag. It's staying on line. If she's got the right club, it's not going to be far away.
Oh, lovely shot. There you go. Could she make a birdie as the Salford-crested cockatoos fly by, Peter? Maybe that's an omen.
Well, that was a terrific shot. She did say after the round yesterday that it was quite mentally hurtful to make bogeys along the way when you've been playing so well. So she knows the feeling, and she dug herself out of it yesterday with that magnificent shot to the 18th. That shows the mental game is back on track as we look at the fourth hole. Jane Crafter, former Australian Open champion, in commentary today.
Well, thanks, Peter. 453-metre par 5 here. And the fast lane is down the right side. There are a couple of little mounds that you could take it over if you're a long hitter down the right. And then it snakes back downhill and then back uphill to the green. So the longer hitters can certainly reach this green in 2. And this green does slope from the front of the green to the back of the green. Hole today located 28 on and 6 from the right, and playing well under its par. No eagles today, 4.71 as we go back to the tee. Beatrice Riccari rather enjoys this hole. Birdie, eagle, birdie. Now resides in Lake Nona, Florida. Works out with the gentleman that got Arnika Sorenstam into such good shape, Kai Fusser. And I'll tell you what, she is swinging very, very well, Peter.
As well as being the Iron Lady of the tour now, the statuesque Anna Nordqvist with a birdie putt to get it to 10 under.
She already has one major under her belt, just 2 wins on the LPGA since joining, but she's a steady performer, just that close to breaking through again.
The fourth hole, Gladys Nocera.
We've seen a lot of Gladys here in Australia over the years. Former Ladies European Tour #1, has been a regular visitor. That's a good drive. Both of those are in excellent position to reach this green in 2.
Well, we're going to see a little twist on the third green. Lydia Ko with holeable birdie putts. Not that easy, but she's in range. Jiyai Shin just in the light stuff on the edge of the green.
It's a pretty straightforward little chip here for GA, although it's in these little second cutter off. It's laying pretty well, and maybe a little slope of left to right as it runs towards the front, but she's so good at these shots.
She really is, Sandy. There's not too many weaknesses in GA's game. She might not be the longest hitter, but she's extremely steady and has lovely touch around the greens. Wouldn't be surprised if this one went in.
Not far from the money. It would look good for a long way for Jiyai Shin.
Well, talking to her on the practice putting green this morning, she was very relaxed. She and Lydia have played together before. They've played in the last round of the Canadian Open that Lydia won. They've gone out to dinner. She was pretty relaxed. I said, "Are you going to talk to each other?" "Oh, yeah, we're good friends." And I call her the smiling assassin. She's not going to take any prisoners today.
Well, the lead is currently 4 shots. This to bring it back to 3. To restore some confidence, the mental game for the 15-year-old.
Should be fairly fast, Sandy.
Yes, that's what she's got to be careful of, Jane, because the one that she 3-putted on the last hole was similar distance and downhill as well.
She just doesn't seem to have that feel in her hands today. It's sort of the way it looks. It just doesn't look like it's coming easily for her at the moment.
Well, she was out on the putting green in the shadows of the evening last night with her mum practicing the putting. She did feel as though might have been a little bit of a problem yesterday afternoon. So obviously some credence there in what you're saying, Jane. 14 under par she is. An opportunity going a little astray there. 3 over for the day.
Now Suwanapura approaching the 18th. Tough hole location right in the back right corner of this green. Up on a little level. Now unfortunately didn't carry it quite far enough to reach that upper tier.
A great view of the signage, the 100, the centenary of Canberra, and we are at the magnificent Royal Canberra Golf Club. Early stages, for the leaders at least, of the final round. Jiyai Shin has bolted away, courtesy of a couple of errors from the young amateur Lydia Ko. 18 under, 14 under, Julia Sergis hitting some form. 13 under, 6 under today, as is Tadapa Sawanapura. Katrina Matthew from Scotland, 6 under also. Yanni Sen doing well as we go down the board and look at all those players now into double figures, including Catherine Hull-Kirk, Anna Nordqvist and Mariaho Uribe from Colombia. Even par for the day, round 4.
Final round of the ISPS Handa Women's Australian Open. And the story continues to be the 15-year-old amateur from New Zealand, Lydia Ko, trying to become the first amateur in history to win more than once on the LPGA Tour. Struggled at the first, drove it left, hit a tree on her second, and bounced backward. This was for bogey at the par 5. So a double bogey start with Jiyai Shin playing alongside, having birdied. So a 3-shot swing right out of the gates. Hit a good tee shot to the par 3 third. That was for birdie. Slides by. Keep in mind, she made a 3-putt bogey at number 2, so she was 4 back. So she begins to steady. And here at the par 5 fourth, that was for eagle. Hit it in 2. She did make that putt, so starts to chip into the lead. And here's where the momentum swings back in her direction for birdie at the 5th. Do that, Lydia Ko. And had a chance at the par 5 6th as well, but missed a short one for birdie. Still, with Jiyai Shin having bogeyed,
her 4th professional event.
it is a 1-shot difference right now, and it had been 4, and Yanni Sen is charging. He made 3 consecutive birdies and then added an eagle a couple of holes later, so she is only 4 shots back, world number 1. Lydia Ko right there. Now Beatrice Riccari, and this for par at number 7. Number of talented Spaniards now making an impact on the LPGA Tour. Fajara Munoz, certainly a player we'll be seeing a lot of.
Yes, we'll take a look at where these 2 drives were. This one just here is, of course, the ball of Lydia Ko. Lydia is 94 from the flag. The pin today is back 25, just 4 from the right. There's a tier, so you've got to get all the way back. But then if you look a long way up there towards the bunker, that is Jiyai Shin. This was a really good drive from Jiyai up here, and she is just 77 and on a better angle. She can bring it in across the corner there without the bunker's sort of inner line. So advantage Jiyai here.
Because Ko's been the longer hitter during the week, but maybe there's a bit of anger and adrenaline flowing in Jiyai swings drive just then. Well, the 7th hole, short and uphill. Just aim towards that bunker, which is exactly the line that Jiyai Shin took. It's well guarded by a couple of bunkers at the front of the green. 2-tiered green. Pin is all the way back, so all about getting it onto the right segment to give yourself a chance, but playing slightly over its par. Not too many birdies today.
It just shows you, doesn't it? It's the shortest of the par 4s by some metres, about 30 metres, and yet it's proving a bit of a stumbling block for many.
And, you can see there that Ko's going to have to fly the ball over that bunker. Pin all the way at the back.
In the yeah, good line.
Steve Mowbray making sure she's got the right line. Brolly in hand.
Needs to hit the good 87 to get it onto this back plateau. Looks like it's up there, Kate.
Oh, it is.
She wanted it to go a little. She had a keen sense of just what the right meterage was. And she's got a shot at a birdie.
Now the 25-year-old Spanish player Riccari at the 8th hole. Trying to punch that one in. Good shot. Now, Shin's biggest drive of the week.
Yes, this was a huge one for Jiyai up this hill. 77 metres to the flag. Just a nice little three-quarter wedge. Well, the line is good, but we can't see where it's going to finish from down here.
Oh, well, a little bit fiery with the wedge. Went through the back of the green to the apron. So the line would have looked good. Very aggressive play. It's one thing that these pros normally do so well. You know, they're very good. They believe in the yardage, and they'll hit it that exact distance, more or less.
Julia Sergas at 16. Tricky. The breeze evident there from the flagstick.
Ranked 69th in the world, Julia Sergas. Plays on the LPGA. And this, of course, is the opening event on the LPGA. We find ourselves in Australia. Global tour now.
Sounded like ducks. Could be when next up.
You got everything out here this week.
So Beatrice Ricari, she's 25 and from Pamplona. Lives in Florida though mostly, I believe.
At Lake Nona, good place to be.
27 of 27 cuts last year. Won the Finnair Masters in Helsinki in 09.
Recorded a top 10 finish last week in New Zealand, so started the season well. This for birdie.
She's playing with Gladys Macera, whom she beat in the LPGA event in Danville in California, October, a couple of years ago.
Shin has gone all the way through the back of the green. I imagine this will be quite slippery from the back, Sandy.
Yes, and what she doesn't have is very much room to play with. This pin way in this back corner. It's only about 3 or 4 paces on the green. She is slightly down the slope in the longer grass, but well, she does have a spectacular short game, and this is just one of those little testy ones. She'll just land it up in the air and land it softly.
Couple of ways to play this.
Yes, there is, Kate. There's many options on this sort of shot. She's just going to try and get on the edge of the green here. Very softly. She'll be holding this club really gently. Oh, that's just beautiful.
It's a masterclass in chipping.
Amateurs around the nation, around the world go, oh, if I had that short game, what would my handicap be? Well done, Jiyai. She looks pretty pleased with it. And Julia Sergas had a bit of a funny day, really. Double bogey at 15. And the game is just unravelling a little.
So, Ko, another chance of a birdie to draw level with Shin at the top. Cross-handed putting stroke. We're seeing more and more players.
Oh, hit it.
Oh. Just when she thought she had the line, forgot to hit it. That's interesting. Cross-handed putting stroke. Helps the left shoulder to be more square at address, and it does stop that wrist from breaking down.
She's right there, and she's giving herself chances to close the gap if she keeps playing steadily. And she's going to apply the pressure to Jiyai Shin, who leads it just by the one. So Ko 1 over and Shin even. And you see the run being made at them from beneath. All those players in red numbers, particularly Suwanapura, a great 67. Katrina Matthew, a former winner of the Australian, also 67. But there's Yani Singh. Can she just close the gap a bit more? Par 5s to come. Maybe she can. It's a great final day at Royal Canberra. Florentina Parker of England, a good round of 68. And 2 under also today from Nordquist, Halkirk and Lewis.
Quite a final round underway here at the ISPS Handa Women's Australian Open, live on Golf Channel. 15-year-old Lydia Ko trying to win, and this is just astonishing, for the 4th time as an amateur in a professional event. She won last week another national championship in her native New Zealand, won in Canada last summer on the LPGA Tour. This is Yani Sen, world number 1, and she is trying to put the pressure on Jiyai Shin, who's leading Ko by 1. Yani 4 under on her outward 9 after having started with a bogey at the par 5 first. Now Maria Jitanagarn, currently tied for 4th. 3 consecutive rounds of 70. It's a par 73. A good roll. 3 under on her round today. And now we're at the par 3/8 with Lydia Ko. Just a short hole. Solid shot. Ko was 4 shots back after having started tied for the lead. That was through 2 holes and has clawed her way back, only 1 behind Jiyai Shin. Shin turned in one of the season's great performances last year at the Rico Women's British Open. And some difficult weather conditions. $155-yard shot. Just a beautiful rhythm swinger. A gorgeous shot. So Shin with a great look at birdie here at the 8th. And now to Yani Sen. Yani came out of the gates in 2012 in a blaze of glory, winning 3 times, but cooled considerably in the second half. And is, at least at this point, not as feared as she was a year and a half ago. Now Jitanagarn. Strong young player from Thailand. And the LPGA Tour going to Thailand next week. And Lydia Ko will be in that field as well. Look at the 9th hole. It's a par 4. And a little dog leg left. It's a 404-yard hole. One of the more difficult ones on the course, playing just a little bit over par. Here's Gladys Nocera. Again, you're watching the final round of the Australian Women's Open, live on Golf Channel. It's Sunday afternoon in Australia. Beautiful day, 80 degrees.
What a round she had yesterday, 65. Leapt up the leaderboard. She's even par today, though. Got a bogey at the first, also a bogey at the 7th, and 2 birdies in between.
It's not a look of someone who's happy with the shot, and that's why.
It's going to be quick from back there as well. Just tugged it, pulled it from the top. Zut alors, as she would say.
I'm sure there's some other words in French she might use.
That was pretty tame.
It was.
This is a good view.
Driving a truck very nearby, but certainly not on the way.
What do you call those? A ute, huh?
Yep.
Kari, her boyfriend, Andreas Thorpe, lining her up. One of the full-service caddies out here.
Sounded a bit fat. That's all right.
Hello. It was a good result. It actually tugged it a little bit from the rough.
Clunky, thumpy sort of contact.
The one weakness in Rukari's game is she's not that long off the tee. I think if she got a bit stronger, that would really help her game. Chance to draw level with Shin.
Oh, turn some more. It seemed to change its mind about 3 feet from the hole. Now we're looking for Yani Singh to continue charge up the leaderboard. She's having a run at them.
Oh, wayward shot for Yani. It must have looked pretty good from where she was. Difficulty playing to a slightly elevated green. Oh, putting through the shadows, Sandy, is Jiyai Shin. Sandy has moved ahead. But the problem is, Jiyai Shin is leaving herself with a lot of these par savers.
I am actually down here, Kate. Sorry about that. Had to have a little battery change.
This one's a birdie putt, though.
I beg your pardon. Birdie putt indeed it is for Shin.
It's going to be quick. It is hard going through the shadows as they are, very motley on the greens.
Oh, I think she thought that was going to move a little bit more than it did.
Ko has tied it up for par. So the status quo maintained here. Difficult to
Still
describe.
manages to find a smile, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's difficult to describe what it is that the shadows do to your perception of the line, but something goes on.
So Shin remains at 17 under par as they walk on to the 9th hole.
Jutanagan out in 3 under. She's on the 10th. Diminutive figure, but strong hitter and an accurate one too. Lovely shots. Chance for a birdie to take her to 13 under. She'd be joining Yani Singh if she converts. Oh, this is an interesting position for the world number one. Just coming off a delightful bunker shot at the previous hole. I was just going to ask some questions of her skill and feel as Katie Burton makes way for Jane Crafter. Jane, how do we play this one? Carefully.
Well, her feet are definitely going to be quite a ways above the ball. Open the face and just stay down and through it. Keep your flex in your knees. Maintain your levels.
Something
Just
like that.
Yeah, exactly. And she's got good touch. She's not world number one for no apparent reason, is she, Steve?
It's what draws great galleries to tournaments like this is to see firsthand how they do those shots. But Lydia Ko.
This shot of Lydia's coming down the centre, just drifting towards the right-hand side of the fairway, but it'll be in a good position.
And a smart play, utilising probably a 3 metal off the tee. Keep it in the fairway as it does slope down to the right over that hill. Jiyai.
It's a bit of club head speed in the practice swing.
Going with the driver, Sandy.
Well, a little bit of breeze here too. It's helping her, but from left to right. Balls up in the air down the left-hand side, and that is going to be perfect.
Lovely. A great position. Great view from the tee on this lovely par 4.
Gladys Nasira, who's playing with Beatrice Riccari. It's got this rather slippery one off the fringe.
One of these putts you'd be very happy to get down into. If it goes in, great. Well done. Very nice.
Very good indeed. Gone from Mon Dieu to Très Bon. Now Jitanagan to roll this one in and join Yanni Singh at 13 under. Might just see it through the ponytail.
We're going to see a lot of this young player on the LPGA Tour this year in the States. Got an LPGA Tour card in the qualifying school and full member now. Huge talent as we go across now to Beatrice Riccari. Learned a little bit from Nosera's putt. He's learned the pace, we think. Couldn't put it to good use.
Jiyai Shin, coming into the last day, really felt confident that she had the experience and the years on Lydia Ko. And Jane, after the first couple of holes, when she enjoyed a 4-shot lead, she must have thought things are panning out how I thought.
Well, absolutely. It was certainly advantage Shin. But that's the amazing thing about Lydia Ko is that, you know, she's experienced some issues before, some bad holes. Sandy, what are you up to out there?
Oh, having a lovely time. That's what I'm up to. It's fantastic standing in the shade. Lydia Ko's ball here. That is at 157 for Lydia. Just coming in from this right-hand side, not ideal. But then if we look way down, I don't know what Jiyai's done in the last couple of holes, but she's ripped a couple of drives. Just 133 from this back pin.
We know she's been working out.
Oh, she certainly has. She's been up at all hours of the morning working out with the speed skater fitness guru Richard Nijelski, and she hit driver off the tee, whereas Lydia hit 3-wood, and I think Lydia obviously just didn't feel comfortable, you know, sticking to a game plan. This is obviously what she's done every day, and Jiyai, well, she's pretty darn accurate. Third in fairways in regulation last year on the LPGA Tour, so she knows she's going to hit fairways, Sandy.
Yeah, well, by my estimations there, Jiyai's hit that about 260 metres.
Wow.
So it's a good hit.
Because if you add strength or lose weight, it can do all sorts of things to your golf swing. And so to groove it and control it like Jiyai is doing, she's right on top of things. Lydia, of course, is still growing at 15, not quite 16.
Well, she is her coach, Guy Wilson from the New Zealand Institute of Sport, and you know Lydia has quite the team around her. She has a conditioning coach and a mental coach as well. So she is utilising all of that modern technology in golf to great effort.
Yeah, that's good.
Now just start this left of the flag and fading it in. This is a pretty good line. Oh, it's way short.
Oh, it's dribbling onto the green though, and she's
Could
got
end up fantastic.
Yeah, she got a bit of a better kick than she might have on another day, Sandy.
Wow, that didn't look like it was going to do anything like that.
And the gallery, some of them in the sun, but looking for the shade where they can at the back of the ninth.
And are they going to be witnessing history here? This young 15-year-old New Zealander. They certainly wanted to come out. Don't blame them. Great coverage all over the world. This telecast is going, and a lot of interest in this last pairing is cricketing.
Well, Jiyai has, a lot closer to the flag. She's only 117 from the front of this green. It's 133 to the pin. She doesn't have the bunker in her eyesight. The pin is just left of that as far as she's looking. A little bit elevated up here, so you're not going to see where it's finishing. Slight breeze behind her.
I think Sandy ideally would be to go maybe 3 or 4 metres left of the flag, because there is a downslope over that bunker. If she lands it on that, it's going to kick it.
Yeah, she needs to be left of the flag, Jane. Absolutely.
Aiming pretty much right at it.
Yeah, she has gone that 3 or 4 metres left of the flag. Might be a little bit too much.
Green's starting to firm up a tad this afternoon in this beautiful sunshine that we have in Canberra.
Caddy Florin Rodriguez has dropped a head cover there or something. Someone will alert him to the fact.
He might lose his job otherwise.
Yeah, I'm sure something red fell off the bag there, but that'll all be good, I'm sure. And Maria Jatanagan at the 11th, playing a second.
341 metres, just playing out of the light rough.
Bit more. Not enough.
Yanni Sen with this approach shot, 384 metres, so a pretty lengthy par 4. Not so for the world number 1. She's bombed it down here. Don't have anything more than a short iron. Looks about like an 8. Aiming well left, trying to fade it into this whole location. Starting at the Canberra sign, trying to fade it a tad. That wasn't the right club or the right line. And that fringe could well interfere with her putt. Double checking the yardage, going, something didn't quite compute there. So the discussion between caddy and player, like, what happened there?
No.
Wow. You know, I never cease to be amazed by the vagaries, if you like, or the unpredictability of sport. And just because you're the longest drive doesn't mean you're going to be closest to the pin. And a little bit of good fortune, perhaps, with the kick on that Lydia achieved here at the 9th.
No, that is one of the one of the fascinating things about golf, and especially playing golf, you know, length, yes, it's an advantage, but it isn't always a guarantee. And Jiyai Shin now with a little work to do, and you know, even though she is even par and Lydia's only one over Sandy, still, you know, anything can happen. I mean, it's
Jane,
game on, isn't it?
Well, we really thought earlier that it was looking like Jiyai was going to totally run away, but this has had a lot of twists and turns to it, this front nine. And this back nine, which is tough, is going to be fascinating. Interesting putt Jiyai's got here. It is going to be a bit of pace in this one, coming down the hill a little bit, but this green does fall into this back right corner, so it should start moving a little left to right.
She thoroughly stalks these putts, doesn't she, Sandy? She's got it covered from everywhere.
Every angle, and I'll actually take that back. I'm looking at the other side. It's actually going to be right to left. But she looks at it. She's such a good putter, but she just does take her time on the greens. There's no angle that she hasn't surveyed it from.
Well, I think she could certainly play a little bit faster on the greens. You really don't need to look that closely at it, and the rules official has given this group a warning. They've had their share of difficulties, certainly in the first few holes.
Yes, well, it's not surprising because I feel like we're out here on our own. I really haven't seen another player on the golf course for a while.
Well, Royal Canberra, you can do that, can't you, Sandy, because it is carved out of the woods, but I think Jiyai certainly needs to play a little quicker. Lydia's always ready to go.
And after all that thinking and looking, considering...
Well, she read it left to right, Sandy, like you did, only it did move right to left.
Yeah, it was an interesting putt standing up in that back corner.
Beatrice Ricari now, sitting out right fifth, 12 under.
Uphill par 4 10th. And these bunkers catch a lot of players as the fairway does slope from right to left.
Oh, skipping on and on.
It would have looked good for a long time. Just carried it distance too far.
Lydia Ko. Tracking. Oh, just moved a fraction.
What a good run, Lydia Ko. And so she will make the turn just one back. She was in dire straits after just 2 holes. Doubled number 1, 3-putt bogey at number 2. Was 4 shots behind. Started the day tied at 17 under. So it's talent and poise. And you have to remind yourself again and again, she is just 15 years old. If Michelle Wie had lived up to the early hype, this is what she would have done. Contend in and win professional events as an amateur. We did play exceedingly well in some of the majors when she was 15, 16 years old. Did play against the men, but just didn't win. Lydia Ko has already won on the LPGA Tour. This would be a second victory on the LPGA Tour. Now, Jiyai Shin to maintain that 1-shot lead. Takes care of business and turns in even par, which with 3 par 5s is not exactly a scintillating golf, but good enough at this point for a 1-shot lead. 2 par 5s on that backside. It's a par of 73, and Yanni Shin will need another flurry of birdies as she unleashed on that front side if she hopes to make a late run here in the final round from Australia. Jiyai Shin, 10th hole. One-shot lead. Shin in pursuit of her 11th career win. Appears to get a good break. It is. In the fairway for Jiyai Shin. Now to Yanni Sen. 5 straight pars for Yanni after having played the previous 5 holes, 2 through 6, in 5 under. She's minus 13 for the championship and 4 shots back and running out of time. And now Lydia Ko. New Zealand with a rich history in golf. All-time legendary figure Sir Bob Charles, who won the '63 British Open at Litherman St. Anne's, and that one gets away, as did her opening tee shot on the par 5 first hole. You think about Michael Campbell, who won the '05 U.S. Open, Craig Perks, a Players champ, our own Frank Novello, one of the great players in the world before a debilitating back injury brought Frank to us. Look at Gladys Nocera. Danny Lee, by the way, a U.S. amateur champion from New Zealand, like Lydia Ko. And a good tournament for Gladys Nocera. Lydia Ko, born in South Korea, moved when she was young to New Zealand. Her parents brought her there in hopes of developing her talent in the better weather, warmer climate. They live in Auckland. Her coach is a fellow by the name of Guy Wilson, and he was the professional at Pupukea Golf Club. Just 22 years old at the time when Lydia came in. 6 years old, been her coach ever since. And it's par for Yanni Sen. Still 4 shots back. There's an article by Randall Mell at golfchannel.com on Lydia Ko and her professional prospects. Ko had said last year that she intended to go to college, but with each precocious step she takes, that could change, and quickly. She was asked if she was planning to turn professional next year, and she said, "We haven't made any decisions yet." But Wilson, the coach, says he thinks she will be ready next year because, and here's a quote from Wilson, "The opportunities now are pretty obvious. Wasting 2 years at college could be a disadvantage." And as a non-member, Ko is allowed to make 6 starts on the LPGA Tour this year, plus the U.S. Women's Open and the Rico Women's British Open. Ko has already accepted an invitation to the season's first major. We will see her all 4 days on Golf Channel, April 4 through 7 at the Kraft Nabisco out in Southern California. Just to take that a little further, LPGA rules stipulate that a player has to be at least 18 to become a tour member. If she wanted to turn pro next year at 17, she'd have to petition the LPGA commissioner for a waiver, and that, given Ko's track record, would likely be granted. Remember, Lexi Thompson petitioned the LPGA after she won the LPGA's Navistar Classic at the age of 16, and she was cleared by Commissioner Mike Wan. But right now, all focus on the task at hand. 1 shot back here and a little trouble at the 10th. Steve Mowbray, the caddy. All right, Jiyai Shin, second shot now at the 10th hole.
Sand wedge left. Oh, spot on. Very, very nicely done.
Now Maria Jitanagan, the 18-year-old, to go to 14 under. Well, she hit 17 of 18 greens yesterday. She had 32 putts, and the putter is working a little better today. What a talent. 2 3-under rounds, or 3 3-under rounds leading to today. And now she's breezing along at 13 under par. Now Lydia Ko treks back down after a little wander up to the 10th green. You see the ABC camera tower in the background. It's going to give you a magnificent view of this shot. And there is the flag. So she's got green to work with.
She's 40 metres from the front of the green. That's back 27, so 67. But she's got to try and get it all the way back to this back plateau and let's get a fair way back onto this green. She'll be seeing very, very little from where she is. It's coming up and it's out to the right. Now, this is going to come off the back of the green, so a little hiccup here for Lydia Ko.
She didn't get any assistance at the back. Skipped on. So, work to do to save par as we look now at this opportunity for Beatrice Riccari.
Go. She read it, didn't read it correctly and didn't have enough pace. Not a good effort there from Beatrice Riccari.
Bit of a dribbler. Meanwhile, the world number one. Birdie putt at 14. Oh, yes. What a moment.
It's on.
15 under par, 6 under today. It was a challenge we thought might materialise, but it's a little bit of a celebration. Now it is. Yani Singh, outright third, 15 under, 2 shots from the lead. They can feel the hot breath of the world number one on the back. And in fact, Yani Singh took over from Jiyai Shin as the world number one. She had 3 separate spells back in 2010, 16 weeks at the top. Jiyai Shin with the concentration hat right on.
The lie looks quite reasonable and she is very adept at this shot.
Super shot and a world number 8. It's a terrific result, delightful touch and generous applause from the fans, the Canberra faithful who've come out in force this afternoon. It's teeming with emotion.
Peter, we're in for such an exciting back nine. I can hardly wait. Let's go over to the 14th. One of the more difficult holes on this back nine. If you can get a good drive away, make it a whole lot easier. Oh, not happy.
Oh,
Oh, what a kick.
Oh, could that be an omen?
What a kick.
Handy bounce.
It was headed for the bunker. She's got a break. She might not know the exact result, but it was a good one. Jiyai for par.
And opting to off the fringe, not a bad idea.
What's going
Too
on?
much.
What's going on? Well, they're leaping out in support. Maybe a little bit of anxiety creeping into the fans too. If you're a golfer, you're riding those shots with the player. Naturally, most of the people out wandering around today would be. Would have had a game. There would have been a lot of members making the trek today. Now this for a bogey.
This has to go in.
Limits the damage at the 10th hole, 15 under par. She falls 2 behind.
Well, you know, there's a lot of support in the gallery for the young New Zealander. They want to watch history made. But Jiyai, Shin and Yani Sen are having none of that. They have designs of their own on this trophy. Giving it respect. Taking your time.
Nice par from Jiyai Shin. The lead is extended by 1. Out to 2 now at 17 under par. Jiyai Shin from South Korea leading by 2 from Lydia Ko. Yani Sen with 6 shots gained in the last 12 holes. Making a charge, Maria Jutanagan, the 18-year-old from Thailand, in a tie for 4th with Beatrice Rakari. And then at 11 under, a couple of players who finished with respectable rounds of 6 under par, the final round of the Australian Women's Open.
Continuing at the ISPS Handa Women's Australian Open. And Jiyai Shin with a par at number 10, now leading by 2, with Lydia Ko having bogeyed. Likes that one. One of the most accurate drivers on the LPGA Tour. It's a 372-yard hole. Still 2 par 5s ahead on this par 73 at 15 and then 18. That is the swing that so many experts believe is technically sound. Wonderful tempo and a good tee shot. A bounce in the step for Jiyai Shin. I watched her last year at Kingsmill in that 9-hole playoff with Paula Creamer, and I mean, she can wear it out with those hybrids. From 160, 65 yards, hits those like a lot of pros hit their 9-irons.
Get the 11th. Sandy, what's confronting these two players? Nothing more than a wedge?
No, it's just a short wedge in here at the moment. So you can see both players here. That is Lydia Ko over there, and that is going to be at 87. And then Jiyai just a few in front, so she'll be around about the 82. Pin is front right today, so it's not in a bad position. So it's just a nice little wedge in here. Good chance for a birdie opportunity, and I think with Yani Sen closing, they need to.
Any breeze to speak of today? The flag looks limp, but generally there's a bit coming off the lake. Sandy?
Peter, every now and then the breeze gets up a bit, but not really. It's just a cooling breeze, if anything else. Not too much at all. So it's gorgeous conditions out here. Perfect. Lots of these big trees keep the shade going across, and gee, life couldn't be much better, really.
Certainly can't. It's a wonderful atmosphere out here. We ventured up into the tented village. A lot of people enjoying the hospitality. led on by the organisers. Terrific way to spend the afternoon. Well, let's hope Yani Seng thinks so. Come the close of play. She's 14 under, her second shot into 14.
Staring it down, Yani Seng. Pull up. Just about a metre or so too much weight, otherwise that would have been absolutely perfect. The adrenaline surging. Now par putt for Maria Jutanagan. Oh, that's a wide and a little bit of work to do. So the putting, I wouldn't say woes, but it certainly wasn't working yesterday. She bemoaned that, but she's going well today. Just needs to hold that to stay close. Lydia Ko, meanwhile, second shot. Stephen Mowbray, the caddy, giving her the line.
Not a lot of room here for Lydia. The pin is just 8 paces on. She's on the tight side. She's played it just to the left of the flag. Oh, needs to sit down. She's going to be way above the flag.
Oh, it seems like the greens are drying out a little bit. Round through to the back. She knows it. She knows it's going to be a tricky putt from there. This lady has an exquisite short game. Carries 4 wedges in the golf bag, Sandy.
Yeah, much better angle she's coming into from this left-hand side. Does open it up a little bit. Still not a lot of room, but just makes it a little bit bigger target. 82 metres. Just giving that little tug left. We just gave her the commentator's curse, and that is going away on the ridge. That's ended up miles away.
Slight error from the leader. And again, that wry smile as we check the leaderboard. Latter stages of the Australian Women's Open. Jiyai Shin at 17 under. Lydia Ko 15 under. Yani Seng, what's she got in the bag over the last few holes? And Maria Jutanagan with Beatrice Ricari, but Jutanagan in a little bit of difficulty.
Lydia Ko, 2 shots back of Jiyai Shin. Final round of the ISPS Handa Australian Women's Open. This for a 3, and so she'll tap in for a par. Rounds of 63. That was a record 10 under, 69.70, and she's 2 over here in the final round. Now Beatrice Ricari currently 4th. Ricari 2 under for her round. Spaniard playing well, 13 under and 4 back. Jiyai Shin to extend that lead to 3. You can see that was a tough putt to hole. Twisting, turning. Shin 17 under, right where she started the day. And Ko will have that tap to remain at 15 and 2 back. This is Maria Uribe from Colombia.
Well, a little bit of country on the way through, trying to get the sip, and then changed its line. That's better.
Tiddler for Ko. Stay at 15 under.
No problem at all. Just the aberrations really at 1, 2 and 10 for Lydia Ko. And the 12th hole now to confront these players as we head into the knee-trembling country where we're going to see this championship decided. Kate Burton.
Well, it's a difficult hole, the 12th. It's playing the hardest hole today. It's all about getting a good drive away. You want to keep it as close to those trees on the left as possible. It's one of the many dogleg lefts here, but not too close that you clatter amongst them. So that's the ideal line. And then you play up to a slightly elevated green, but it's that big cavernous bunker at the front that guards the green. That's its main defence. And where the pin is today, it's 11 paces on. All about hitting on the right part of the screen. Only 8 birdies recorded so far. This is a hole to be very strategic on. Place your drive, place your second, and maybe give yourself a chance of a birdie. And let's join Shin on the tee.
Yes, this is a nice tight line from Jiyai down the left-hand side, and then once it hits this fairway, it'll just start moving across over to the right.
Yes, fairway slopes from left to right. That doesn't help. Par putt for Akari.
Firm straight from Akari. Anchors the par away. 13 under remains after 12 holes. Back to the 12th now. Lydia Ko.
Yeah, this is going to be a case of follow the lead. A bit of a tail breeze, tight left, and it's just move across to the right-hand side as well, probably just on the edge of the rough.
Well, that's okay. He's saying at the 14th. Tough putt from here. Just never know with this play.
The crowd willing it on, as was she. It's needed a couple more rolls of the golf ball and it would have held its line. But still, very fine performance. 5 under par.
4 holes to play.
She's only 3 shots back.
And at 18, the par 5. This is Catherine Hull-Kirk trying to finish it off in style. 5 birdies, 1 bogey, and a round of 69, 4 under. Currently tied 6th. 68, 73, 71, and a 69, 11 under par. Royal Canberra Golf Club, Yarralumla, Australia. It's a late afternoon down under. We'll come back with more. Final round, just a moment. Golf Channel with live coverage of the final round of the ISPS Handa Women's Australian Open. This is Jiyai Shin leading by 2.
Get up.
Didn't sound great coming off the club. It's a little bit heavy, and it appears to be short. And so an opportunity now for Lydia Ko. Two shots back, playing the 12th.
Virtually identical shot, 10 metres closer. This looks good if it's up. Oh, it's a little short. I think they got a bit scared of this one.
Oh, but it skipped on nicely.
Oh, worked well.
That's a good result for the 15-year-old amateur. And perhaps a chance to gain some ground. 2 behind currently. This is Beatrice Ricari. Really needs one here, you think. Look ultra good. Give it up for par.
Well, what an important hole this is for Yani Seng. It's the par 5 15th. She's long enough. She's got to make birdie here if she's going to enter into contention.
A gasp from the crowd. That's for Regal. For the world number 1, the 2-time Australian Open champion, zoning in the closing stages.
Oh, now this is getting exciting. Well, Stacey Lewis, well, she was my bet at the beginning of the week. Still, very decent outing. First event of the year for Stacey Lewis, first tournament.
Yeah, she was involved in that playoff last year, celebrated her birthday yesterday. 8 under to finish the tournament. That's not too bad.
Hello. A couple of Lydia fans. Why not? Seen quite a few children out here over the past few days. Great to see young players coming to watch other young players about the same age as her.
Well, Lydia's mum, Tina's in the crowd too, watching her, guiding her around this week. But we have now an important shot, Sandy, for Jiyai Shin.
Yes, this is a very important shot, and this is a very deep bunker here. Not a lot of room to work with for Jiyai. She is going to see absolutely nothing when she gets down into this bunker.
It reminds us of the shot she had yesterday on the 6th hole. She went on to hole that.
Today, and that for par.
Oh, now we could see a bit of a change at the top here, or the leaderboard to get an awful lot more congested in just a few moments' time, because this is an eagle putt for Yani Seng. Now, Yani finds herself currently 3 behind Shin, but Shin has a long-range par putt. Looks like she could well drop a shot. All of a sudden, if Seng was to hold this, Shin was to miss, they would draw level. We never thought we would see this on the final day, but if there's anybody to mount a challenge, it is this player. So, crucial putt for Seng.
Was hit with authority. Just a little to the right. The pace ran out. That's a tap-in birdie nonetheless. And Yani Seng moves to within 2 shots of the lead with 3 to play.
She's certainly within striking distance. Also in second place is Lydia Ko, and this for birdie.
She does it brilliantly, Lydia Ko. Nails a putt at a most important time and goes to 16 under, 1 behind.
Certainly worth another look. That fist pump indicating the significance of that putt takes her into sole possession of second. Shin 17 under, Ko just 1 behind her, and then Seng, I'm sure she made that birdie putt, and she did. She moved to 15 under par. Now this is a huge putt for Jiyai.
No bigger today so far, really.
Hasn't got her game together. You look at the players at the top of the leaderboard. Shin's even, and Ko is 1 over, and everybody else is under par. Lydia Ko eagerly looking on. Oh, you just never know with her sometimes. She's so relaxed. Maybe looking at having a glance at the leaderboard to survey the situation. Shin knows that she needs this.
A safe par. That is a weak effort right there by Jiyai Shin, uncharacteristic, and a 2-shot swing. So Lydia Ko, after 2 holes, 4 behind, when she started the day even, has battled all the way back. They are both at 16 under par, and there is Jiyai Sen, 6 under for her day, and she is only 1 behind. How's this? It's pretty good for cold February night in a good portion of the United States. Summertime down under. It is late Sunday afternoon in Australia, and a good one is brewing. Well, the almost hard-to-believe story of Lydia Ko takes yet another phenomenal twist. She could very easily have packed it up after stumbling out of the gates, and everyone would have understood, as young as she is, with as much pressure as she has shouldered. But as she tees off at 13, she's tied once again with Jiyai Shin for the lead. Not too bad. It's a short par 3. Now Jiyai Shin. You would have thought, as accomplished as Shin is with that early 4-shot advantage, she would have pounced and run away. Has not been particularly sharp. But all that said, she's still tied for the lead. And that works out fine. Bottom portion. About 20 feet or so for her birdie. 3 birdies now in the day for Lydia Ko, and 1 over on the round. It looked as though Shin was going to make this look easy. Threw a dart in at number 1, her 3rd shot to that par 5, but hasn't done a whole lot since. There is Jiyai Sen, only 1 back. Sen began the day 8 behind and bogeyed the first hole, and then just went on an absolute tear. Birdies at 2, 3, and 4, an eagle at number 6. And so she's 6 under for her round. It's the final round of the ISPS Handa Australian Open, Royal Canberra Golf Club. All tied at the 13th hole. Lydia Ko. And this is a birdie at the par 3. Coming off a birdie at 12. All right, so she'll tap for her par. And Shin will have about 20 feet. As we're live now. This for birdie in a 1-shot lead once again. And that was left all the way. So a 2-shot swing at the 12th, a pivotal moment. Certainly not out of the picture by any stretch. Jiyai Sen, 2nd at 16.
Oh, needs to bite and doesn't. Well, that will call on her skills again. She's been excellent out of the bunkers today. Fluffy rough just behind. Need to be clever. All right. Put this one away for Shin. Stay at 16 under. Beatrice Riccari sitting alongside Jitanagan at 12 under. 13 she is, I beg your pardon, and now she's 12.
Oh, the anguish. She knows that she, has a chance of being in contention, can't afford to miss any putts at this stage.
Lydia Ko takes care of it and stays level with Jiyai Shin. And just looking at it, you wouldn't know there was pressure heaped on her shoulders. And there's some here too for Yani Singh. Oh, gee, it had a good look on the way past, and Yani thought it might have, and it nearly did.
Oh, jeez. Well, I'll come back to that shortly, but the 14th hole, great par 4, this 386 metres. Critical you get a good drive away. Got to be very careful of those 2 fairway bunkers on the left. The fairway slopes left to right, so you want to go down the left side as much as possible, and you'll end up towards the middle of the fairway. But it really is all about the approach shot in. Well, pin today is 12 paces on, and it's a, there's a bit of undulation on this green. Only 7 birdies, and it's playing over its par. So it's third hardest hole out here today. Got to get it on the right segment of the green. But look, as you can see, bogey for Lydia on Friday and Saturday.
And this is starting in the centre, but it's moving towards these bunkers. This is going to be tight.
Sure.
Oh, she's caught one.
Just when she thought she hopped out of one, I think it flirted a little bit too dangerously with that other bunker. Well,
Yes, it has gone into the far bunker and right up the front of it as well, so it's going to be a tough shot in for Lydia. Now Jiyai starts that towards the centre. It's moving a little left again, very close, but I think this one will be absolutely fine.
That is the line.
You made the good point before, Kate, that the 3 toughest holes on the course. That's Jiyai setting off, making sure she doesn't have the timekeepers on her case anymore. But first, third and second toughest holes on this back 9. Sarah Jane Smith.
We'll get some check. Lovely. Well, just as we expected, Steve, the pin is cut all the way in the back right-hand corner on the 18th. Great finishing hole. Now on the 15th, an eagle putt for Saganda.
Get in there. Yes, it's a snake of a putt, that one. Why not? It's the year of the snake. And Saganda.
What a putt. Let's have another look.
Left, right, then left again, back to the hole, and in the side door, just about. Oh, Carlotta.
Yani looking to wrap things up. The 16th hole. Yep.
So she stays at 15 under, 1 behind Shin and Co. Sarah Jane Smith.
A nice putt for the Australian. Been professional some 7 years now. Started off with an impressive 68. Is riding through the fierce waves here in Australia. Go a long ways in those conditions. Jiyai Shin, a second shot here at the par 4 14th. Her iron play has been spotty at best today. That is a big miss left. And now Yanni Sen at 17. Need to go birdie here. And that will get it done. Spectacular shot, Yanni Shin, and she'll have that short birdie to tie the lead. Lydia Ko. She didn't love it, but it's not bad. And she has a distinct advantage, certainly, on her fellow playing competitor, Jiyai Shin, who's left here at 14. Beatrice Riccari. It's a good tournament. She's tied for 4th. Bunker gobbles it up. Seeing eye bunkers. Well, again, to reset. Jiyai Shin, Lydia Ko began the day tied for the lead at 17 under. And after 2 holes, Shin was ahead by 4. And here they are, tied playing the 14th. 14th hole. This is Jiyai Shin, tied for the lead with 15-year-old amateur Lydia Ko, left of the green. Really short-sided, difficult shot. Maybe not. Wow. I do not believe that. That is one of the great pitch shots you will see. And that is a birdie for Jiyai Shin. The irrepressible Jiyai Shin. And she just had to hit this just over that cut onto the fringe and bottom of the barrel. Lydia Ko. And another stunning turn of events. It appeared as though Lydia Ko had the advantage, but Jiyai Shin holes out and now leads by 1.
Stand still, please.
All right, this is Jiyai Shin. Fifteenth hole.
Now that ball high in the air, needs a good kick down slope. It's going to get that. Yep, that'll be a fabulous spot.
She's on a roll. Holding a shot like that can give you so much confidence, gets the adrenaline going.
Well, they can be a massive turning point, Kate, when things were just going a little shaky there for a while, but wow, that was something else.
It seriously was. It was really a 2-shot swing. Now, Lydia Ko on the tee.
We'll start a little further to the left, but again, it's looking to be a pretty good shot. That's going to be about the same position as Jiyai, not far away.
Very interesting to see how these two players are going to tackle the 15th. They're not the longest out there. Not sure if they'll be able to get home in 2. It is a par 5. But Shin certainly got a good drive away.
We saw Yanni Singh's magnificent tee shot at 17. Can she roll this in to get to 16 under?
Not a problem.
Well, and so they should cheer, because they know just how close this final round is proving to be.
Up ahead beside the 15th green, ahead of Shin and Ko at least. Riccari. Oh, neatly done. Tanaga, par at 16. Well done. stays an outright fourth. Well, the 18th is a par 5. Jiyai won't be holding back, one suspects. They like it. She smashed it down there. She looks pleased.
Well, it's 188 for both players. One ball just here, the other one just there. But the defining factor will be the fact when I throw that up in the air, straight at it. So we've got Jiyai on the left here, and that is Lydia Ko on the right-hand side.
All right.
Well, difficult pin here at 15 as we join Beatrice looking to hole out for a birdie. Chance of slipping away.
So the breeze into them, it's a 428 metre par 5. Kari has secured a par. Whether this pin is tucked. Jiyai Singh, world number 1, has eased herself into outright second, coming up the last. Shin has retaken the lead. Lydia Ko to third.
And it's extraordinary how this breeze has picked up all of a sudden. 188 to the front for Jiyai, 205 to the flagstick. Pin today, 17 on, but it's tight on the left-hand side. Okay, the line is towards the centre of the green. Just like to put a little bit of draw on this, I think.
Safely on board. A long way from the flag.
Well, really tough pin, though, this one, Steve. I mean, it's in that far back corner, and you've got some very big bunkers that cover a fairly large area, so it's a tricky one to get to.
Well, it's an extremely good shot from Shin, playing percentage golf once again. Gets home in 2 on the par 5s. As we know, she's not the longest player out there. I'm sure Carlotta Siganda make an eagle from there just a few moments ago.
Well, this is exactly the same distance, 205, 188 to the front. And I'd imagine Lydia will try and do exactly the same. Oh, now she's lost that right. Wow. That is a mistake.
Ooh. Timber?
Oh. The chances of winning the Australian Open is diminishing now. Needed to at least follow Shin onto the green.
As we look at Jiyai Singh, just correction, that was a bogey for Lydia Ko back at the 14th hole, and a most dramatic 2-shot swing. She's 2 back. Jiyai Singh now is only 1 behind, waiting for the green to clear here at the par 5 18th hole. So Jiyai Singh maybe with 1 more big move left. Can she make birdie or even eagle? We'll see in a moment. '18th hole, Jiyai Singh, par 5. This her second shot. She's 1 back. 7 under on her round. She began the day 8 behind. She takes a mighty swipe at it, and that one gets away. Hard left, and now it will take something on the order of Seve Ballesteros to wrangle a birdie here at the 18th hole. 1 shot behind. Lydia Ko is 2 back after that 2-shot swing at number 14. Most improbable two-shot swing. Shin holding out from left of the green, and this third shot at the par 5 for Lydia Ko needs a good one. Considerable distance for her birdie putt. Meanwhile, Jiyai Shin on in 2. So this is for eagle. Suddenly breathing just a little bit easier.
Acknowledges the applause. He's not unhappy with it.
Bit of work to do. There's going to be a right to left diddler. Now Jiyai Seng. Oh, Steve, we have the prime position here in the commentary box just adjacent to the 18th hole. She's going to walk all the way up to the pin. She's going to have to come up over a rise.
And she's no more than 5 or 10 metres in front of us. She has got a little bit of a view at the pin, but have to keep it low.
Now, birdie for Lydia Ko, birdie chance.
Every chance for Jiyai Shin to extend the lead here as Ko finishes off. Stays at -15. 2 over for the day. And Shin is even for the day, but maybe 1 under in a moment.
Well, it looks like there is a little bit of movement on this putt for Shin. We saw the first putt move right to left. She normally holds this with monotonous regularity. This to move 2 ahead of Seng.
That thought about it.
She pulled it out from the middle.
Yeah, that had a good think about it, but dropped and now leads by 2. And this is what confronts Jiyai Seng.
Well, position of the ball, those trees aren't really affecting her. She's going to have to play a bump and run. Fair bit of green to work with. It's going to move a little bit from left to right. Has to get up and down.
Whoa.
Crikey.
That could be the tournament right there. Still, there are opportunities for mistakes to come from our leader, but Jiyai Seng just eased the pressure a little.
Gladys Nothera, chance to go to 12 under on the 16th.
Yes, just enough. Maria Jutanagan. Solid, well-struck par putt. And she stays at 13 under. She's outright 4th. 2 behind Ko. Jiyai Shin finds herself with a 2-shot cushion, having not to do too much to gain that advantage. Ko's retreated. Seng in some trouble at 18.
Nice tail breeze behind them on this hole. That's going down the left side of the fairway. Nice big bounce, and we'll start catching that downhill run.
Oh, it is. It's running and running. Oh, Yanni Seng. Jane Craft is back with me. She needs to hold this.
She certainly does, and not the easiest shot. Open the face. Just landed in the fringe. Maria Uribe tries to say underlay, underlay. Wow, but disappointing for Yanni Sen. Could easily have reached this green in two and just hoiked it off to the left, and some of the chances slipping away. These are the chances of Lydia Ko, but you know, you just never know, Steve.
This one for Lydia Ko, coming a little further down the left-hand side. Now may run out of room, may just run off into the rough.
Indeed it does.
Lie looks to be pretty reasonable as they trot off the tee. This group a little bit behind.
Well, I guess the blood was pumping as she stood over a second shot at 18, and Yanni just couldn't find.
No, just wasn't to be. As we watch her fellow competitor, Maria Uribe from Colombia.
Seems to put the horrors of yesterday's 79 behind her. She's 1 under today.
Oh, great way to finish for the youngster. Just 22 years of age. We're going to see a lot more of her.
Make that 2 under as she closes with a 71. And 11 under. Joining Suwanapura, Katrina Matthew and Catherine Halkirk, equal 8th.
Great crowds. Great to see the youngsters back behind the green. And Yanni Sen now for par. I'll give a little shout out to Paul Fusco, Yanni's caddy's grandson. They're wearing orange ribbons to wish him well. There's a battle with leukemia, the youngster.
66 for Yanni Seng, world #1, posts the #1 score for the day.
Well, what might have been there at 18. Oh, gosh, she's going to want that one back. Just a little bit of anxiety from the top of the swing. Just came over the top of it.
She gave the tournament and the leaderboard the charge that it needed, though. Just asked some questions of Shin and Ko.
Absolutely. I think Golf Australia and tournament organisers are going to be pretty happy with how it's shaking out at the top.
But with Yanni Seng closing at 16 under, it really is Jiyai Shin's tournament to lose. She enjoys a 2-shot lead, only 1 under for the day. Holes running out for anything untoward to happen. Lydia Ko has slipped to 3rd, unfortunately, for the gallant amateur from New Zealand. And then another couple back to Jatanagan. 4 under for the day, though. Great round from her, and 3 under from Carlotta Saganda.
Par 4 16th hole. Jiyai Shin off back-to-back birdies. Back in control. And the hole out at 14. Likely the shot of the day, maybe the tournament. Firming up. It is summertime in Australia. They're 16 hours ahead. So it's going on close to 1:15 a.m. Eastern Time early Sunday morning. And so it is after 5 p.m. Sunday afternoon in Australia. Lydia Ko needs a little magic here late. 3 back of Shin. And that's not too bad. She'll have a chance. Keep in mind, After this par 4, they'll go to 17, the par 3. Yanni Sen made birdie there. And then it's the par 5 18th. The way this day has gone, we could see yet one more 2 to 3 shot swing. Who knows? We'll see in a moment. Third shot now for the leader, Jiyai Shin. This is the ISPS Handa Women's Australian Open final round. She has hit some deft little chip shots today. That has been the strength of her game in this final round. Ko has to have this one. And not to be. So very likely she will remain 3 shots back of Shin with just 2 holes to play, par 3 and a par 5. Yanni Sen in the house after a 7 under par 66, par 73. Sen is actually sitting solo second right now, 2 back of Shin. It's a feisty player.
Thank you for coming to watch.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. He's following me 4 days. I'm very appreciative.
You might need that. What if it's a playoff?
I know. It's okay. I'll get a new one.
Yanni's been a good ambassador as the #1 player in the world. Problem for Jiyai Shin. The popular script at Kingsmill last year had Paula Creamer winning. Certainly that was the outcome that the full house in Virginia wanted to see play out. And I think certainly worldwide, the glamorous story would have been for a 15-year-old to win for a 4th time as an amateur in a professional event. As it stands, that's not a bad record, even if she doesn't get it done here. 3 for 13, 13 starts as a pro for Lydia Ko. Remains a question in 2013. Will Yanni Sen return to her dominant ways? I mean, she had an ironclad grip on #1. But it has become a bit more wide open. Promises to be an exciting year in women's golf. Par 3 17th now, Jiyai Shin.
Stand still, please.
Can't emphasize enough what a spectacular pitch shot she holed at number 14. Left of the green, short-sided, landed it just perfectly on the fringe, and it rolled in for a birdie, and it was a 2-shot swing.
All of a sudden the breeze picks up a little bit left to right. Now this is to the right of the flagstick quite a bit. Just needs to run it out safely on. That's a good shot.
Smart play, good percentage effort there from the world #8. That's all you had to do.
A tremendous shot to the 17th. Safely into the heart of the green. And with a putt for birdie too. She leads by 2.
Now Lydia, on the other hand, Sandy really needs to go right out this one.
Oh, she's got to have a go now,
Yep.
Jane. The only chance for Lydia is to finish birdie eagle, really. I know the par 5 18th, anything can happen, but if she could claw a birdie back here, she's not completely out of it. This needs to be close. Started it to the right of the flag, and that's actually moving further out. That is much wider than Jiyai's and didn't even make the green. So I think it's all over now for Lydia Ko.
Lydia Ko, it's been an admirable performance the first 2 rounds. She lit up the Royal Canberra course. A magnificent 63, an unofficial record both for the Australian Open. Now, Maria Jutanaga on this for birdie to finish up with a spectacular opening gambit. Oh, slides by, but nonetheless, this is a super round for the 18-year-old from Thailand. One half of a dynamic double and a great thrill for her 5-marker caddy Paul Herrick, a local who was called into the fray here. He regarded it as a huge thrill. He learnt so much about the game of composure from an 18-year-old. Shin still going. The cluster of the fans enveloping her in a very industrious area around the back of the 18th. Get all your food stuffs. You can get a golf lesson. Drive away a new car if you feel so inclined. If you're willing to fork out a little bit. But the leaderboard now, 100 years, the centenary of Canberra, and they've put on a marvellous show at Royal Canberra Golf Club.
It would take pretty much a miracle right now for Lydia Ko. Bunkered at 17, 3 back. Probably needs to hold this and a good effort. And on top of that, may need an eagle at 18. Jiyai Shin for birdie to extend that lead.
It's to go 19 under par.
Tease the hole.
One more bit of speed is all it needed, Peter.
Just nudging for the par, and Jiyai Shin leads by 2 with 1 hole to play.
Oh, she lost that amazing playoff with Curry Webb, and Curry birdied 2 of the last 3 holes to tie her at Kingston Heath. She so wants this trophy.
Now Lydia Ko is rehearsing the putting stroke, which was so effective over the first couple of days. And indeed yesterday. Today less so, but come on. Oh. Well, that's unlucky. And she'll take a bogey. Deal with that disappointment in her own special way, and she can lift her head up for a marvellous Australian Open campaign after winning her own New Zealand Open and winning the Canadian Open and winning the New South Wales Open, all in the space of a year. She is a rising talent, a rising force in the game, while still an amateur. It's unbelievable. Now to the 18th. That's where the focus is as the last groups play out this theatrical final day, enhanced by Yani Seng, Lydia Ko, Jiyai Shin at the top, and also the support cast too.
Well, there's Yani looking on. And now Ricari swing back to this 18th green. It's not a huge amount of break on this upper level. Will go slightly to her right. She's aiming a good couple of feet to the left. Oh, read it beautifully. Well done, Beatrice.
Beatrice Ricari finishes with